It's almost game time, DC, and I am here in St. Louis at the Arch tomorrow. Playoff football. XFL Conference Championship game is tomorrow, Sunday, June 8th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Central Time. Tune in. The St. Louis Battlehawks take on the DC Defenders for the Conference Championship title. After that, the Defenders look to take it all. Tune in tomorrow on Fox if you are in St. Louis. Once again, I had the absolute pleasure of interviewing head coach for the DC Defenders, Shannon Harris. I hope you enjoy the interview as much as we enjoy making it. Thank you again so much to Coach Harris for your time. Tune in and see you tomorrow. Okay, let's start with 3 questions just to dive in and get to know you a little bit better. Start off the interview light. What's your favorite NFL team?
Favorite NFL team is, for me, is the 49ers.
49ers?
Yeah.
How'd you get to San Francisco? How did you get to be a 49ers fan?
Yeah, I know. So it started with, as a kid, growing up from Mississippi, Jerry Rice. He's from Mississippi. First time I ever started watching football, it was him, Joe Montana, and all the guys with it, and so that's kind of how it came about as far as loving the 49ers. So,
Yeah.
Ever since then, it's been that. Of course, the Saints is my hometown team, but the 49ers for sure, all because of Jerry Rice.
Okay, so how have you felt about their season for the last couple of years? They make it to the Super Bowl. Chiefs kind of a heartbreaking overtime loss there, and then CMC gets Offensive Player of the Year, and then the next year it just seems like kind of things went down a little bit.
Brock Purdy was a guy who kind of led that charge, and all the guys surrounding him. And I tell you, the story with Brock Purdy was that, he going Mr. Irrelevant, right?
Yes.
And we already have Jordan. We have guys that was already on team. And then when De'Aaron King decided to leave, and then, we had Eric Dungy, our other quarterback. But he was one of the quarterbacks that was the first guy on my list to take.
Wow.
Because he was 7th-round draft pick. In our league, typically those guys are like the undrafted free agent guy, like Max with St. Louis.
Yes.
He was a guy that was on our radar as well. But so Brock Purdy was one of those dudes that was on our list. And so, hey, it worked out great for him. Mike Shanahan was a great coach that developed quarterbacks. His dad, I say Mike, but Kyle Shanahan now, who's the head coach. But Mike was the guy before his dad. But he was one of those guys that we always had on our radar. And, what they have going on now, something special. Debo left.
Yeah.
He's down with the Commanders. So,
here in DC.
How about DC,
Yeah.
right? But so we'll see what happens going further in the future. They drafted some really good young players and see how they can replace Debo. I mean, he's a Swiss Army knife, kind of like Roland and Mickens for us. And so we'll see what happens going forward.
Second question, when you're not head coach of the Defenders, when you don't have your coach hat on, what do you do in your free time? How do you spend time away from football?
Pretty much family, Again, being from Mississippi, we some outside people, you know what I mean? So, fishing, things like that. I have my brothers, they love to hunt. And I haven't had an opportunity to go out hunting as of late. But I love to fish. I'm an outside runner. Like, I love to go outside and run, jog, and stuff like that. But anything outside of that is more of just spending time with family for the most part.
I didn't know you were going to say that. You really do embody family, faith, and football. So I knew, I was like, if you says anything outside of football, it's going to be either faith or family.
That's
so
right.
Very consistent. Do you have a game day routine? Do you have a pre-game routine? Like, is there something that you consistently do on game day? Do you have a ritual?
Yeah. On game day, the first thing I do, as soon as I get to my room or whatever it may be in the same room with the other coaches. But for the most part, all stadiums have my own room. So as soon as I get in there, first thing I do in there, I go in there and pray. And then, I write down all my notes of things and what I want to talk to the team about, which I already probably had them already in my mind on our flight going there. But then, I walk the field. I pray over the field. and make sure it just cover us, from any hurt, harm, or danger for that standpoint. And I sit on the bench, and then I wait. My cue for when I go in is when Matt McCrane done kicking.
Okay.
So that's my cue. So once he's done kicking, and I get all his notes of where he liked the ball at on each side of the field, and he tell me his range and where he liked the ball on each side of the field. He kind of draw a little map for me, and then that's when I go back in, get dressed, and then get ready to come out for pregame warm-up.
Okay, it seems to be working very well for you. Whatever you've been doing as far as your game day ritual, definitely keep it up, because you have a very successful season. We'll get there later. So let's spend a little bit of time talking about last game before we kind of get up to speed and talk about today and tomorrow's game. Last game, had we actually been playing for a home field advantage, had we actually been playing the game to have a playoff game at Audi Field, would that have changed the game plan at all? Would you have started Jordan for a little bit? Would the game plan be a little bit different, or was it what it was regardless?
No, I mean, if it was that point, we definitely would have played, all of our guys for that matter, and the game plan would definitely have been different. Year one in 2023, it went down to the wire before we were able to clinch, but we were very fortunate to clinch in week 8 against Arlington, and then we had 2 games left, but that gave us an opportunity to play our young guys, play guys who haven't had a whole lot of opportunity to play, and Mike as our quarterback as well. So we were very fortunate to be able to clinch that early, along with all the other 3 teams as well. They all clinched the same weekend.
Yes.
So
Yep.
so it helped us out a lot, as far as giving our guys an opportunity to play and let them create some value for themselves. So we were very fortunate from that standpoint. We strategically, throughout the weeks of practice as well, we did a lot of hat days to where we didn't put no pads on, no helmets. We just went out there and then just walked through every day of practice to make sure that we took some hits off all of our players and to get us to the point to where we are now. So with that, like I told the team all throughout this course of this week, is that we strategically did all these things to get us to the point to where we are now today. And so let's go out here and give our fans, a good outing for sure.
What do you think about Arlington being a neutral spot in the event that the defenders would have actually been the home team in St. Louis? What do you think about Arlington being the spot that people can use for kind of like a neutral spot in case another stadium isn't available? It'll save the UFL a lot of money. It'll save time and energy for guys traveling. Do you think Arlington is worth looking into as a neutral zone?
Yeah, being at our headquarters there, I thought that was going to be in the plannings as far as being the neutral site for all 4 teams for that matter, but not the case. And like I told one of the news people before, like if they said we need to go play on the moon, like order us some astronaut suits and we'll go play up there, and then we'll figure it out. We'll let gravity take over, and then we'll go figure it out, and then go from there. But yeah, wherever it may be, no concerns for us. We feel comfortable here, and so we've had a lot of success here. Yeah. So wherever it may be, we're fine.
Okay. Let's talk about Andre Mintz. Again, I had the absolute pleasure of interviewing him, which kind of makes you more invested in their success. Same with you. The more that I talk to you guys individually, the more I just root for you guys. He didn't make the all-UFL team. Joe Wallace made it, and every single guy on that list deserves to be there, defenders or not. So I don't want to say someone should be taken away. I think everyone deserves to be there. But Joe Wallace made it, deserves to be there. Derek Roberson made it, deserves to be there. What do you think happened with Andre there? What did you make it?
That's one of those things to where it was an unfortunate situation, and Mintz, he's a dog, man. That dude there, I'm telling you, he's the only dude that every day, he wear full pads dang near every day. You would think that would be a D-Road type of guy, but Mintz, he's anchored down, man. So he comes with his hard hat, his work pail, and his work boots every day, and he wear the same pants, and they tease him all the time, like, why don't you wash your pants? But he just come out and work,
Yeah.
And so you appreciate that for him. And for him not to be on the team, the one thing about it as a team, we make sure that his hard work and everything else he does doesn't go unnoticed.
Yeah.
And I tell you, he has a huge chip on his shoulder because of that.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because of that, because the last time we was here in St. Louis, he had a lot of impact plays. So hopefully and pray that he can do that same thing for us again.
Let's talk about the UFL in general, and kind of there seems to be a barrier to entry to other football fans. We see kind of ratings declining, we see viewership declining, but the quality of play on the field is not declining. How can we sort of engage with other football fans, with NFL fans, with CFL fans? Or how can we get, and I know it's not up to you to decide, but what do you think that we can do to try to get more viewership and engagement in the UFL?
One thing about for the DC Defenders, for our fan engagement and ratings every time we play, they're always at the top, right?
Yes.
So as long as we continue to put a good product on the field, I think ratings will be there, right?
Yeah.
But for overall, within the UFL, I think more of this, like, things like what we do, things like what I've done before, as far as, telling our story, right? And so, by us being in Arlington and not having to be in our own home base, I think throughout the course of the week, we got to continuously tell our story, right? And so as long as we could do that, and then we follow up with wins and things like that, make sure we have good fan engagement and things. So I think the league itself would be great. And then, the product on the field on everybody's team is really good. Since the merger, the quality of talent is unbelievable. And as you look at the scores each week, everything would be close. With the last couple of weeks probably not as close with some teams, but when you turn the tape on or turn the film on or TV on, and then you see the quality of talent, you got first rounder. Like for us, I know, for example, we got a lot of first round guys, we got a lot of second round guys, third round guys, all the way up to undrafted guys. So these guys are just getting that opportunity to create more value for themselves, and then getting back into the NFL. And we've done a good job of that. Vaughn has done a good job, our GM, of putting talent around our football organization.
In the beginning of the season, I thought, okay, well, maybe we're competing with March Madness. That's kind of happening. Everyone's into March Madness. And then are we competing with the Nationals? And then speaking of winning, I think Washington football fans feel like Commanders are doing well, so we're not grasping and desperately searching for a football team and holding on to the Defenders. So hopefully they just give it a chance, because the product on the field is A1. Players, coaches, it's engaging, it's exciting. And actually, a lot of ideas that the NFL has, they get from the UFL. You have a lot of mic'd up situations with coaches and players. You have the camera on the chest. You have digital technology that tracks the ball. All these things that ultimately lead to the NFL, but people don't even know, really is starting with the UFL, because we have the benefit of not being bogged down by tradition. People are way more able to say, you know what, let's try something new without being bogged down by it. So I think people should just really give it a chance.
Yeah, I think anytime you can add something new to the game and still continue to keep the same value of the game, that adds extra incentive to it. And to your point, like you said, in 23, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia, when they took over our league with Red Bird Capital, the one thing they added was the kickoff, right?
Yes.
The kickoff return thing. Yeah. And then the go for one, go for two, go for three.
Yeah.
That created a buzz, right? So now, everyone is tuned in to see what's this all about. And you still have people still like doubt the kickoff return or kickoff rule, because they all are like, well, people make money off that. Well, you look at guys that we've had with Mickens and then Chris. These guys have been electric in this, and now it's even went over to the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's safer, right?
Yes.
So now with all of that, the league didn't lose its integrity, and so everyone able to benefit from it still. And it's longevity for these guys now, which is what we're looking for. Is longevity for all of our football players to play, because like every play is a train wreck.
Yes.
So now that we kind of found a way as far as trying to protect the players, especially on special teams, for that matter. Offense, defense, enough. It's a train wreck. So, but as long as we can control it on special teams, the way we're doing it right now, and the way they're protecting the players, with different rules and things, football is back where it needs to be for sure.
I was going to ask you about that because there's some people who say, "Oh, the game's getting soft. We don't have a gunner anymore. You can't do the hip drop tackle rule and this and that." But I'm on the side of player safety. Again, it helps when you have longevity. We see a lot of things with CTE, more players wearing guardian caps and just concussion protocols. So I'm always on the side of safety instead of the side of football's getting soft. You can't enjoy the game. So.
Yeah, the hip drop tackle is. It's a study, right? And it creates a lot of injuries.
Yes.
And so, try to find a way to tackle better, or, stay within the rules. But the whole part of it being soft, it's a contact sport. These guys up front in the trenches are battling. You talking about these guys are 6'4", 6'5", 300 pounds, and the force that they meet with is incredible. So it's by far soft. But I appreciate the league itself for what they're doing to try to protect the players and give them longevity within the league, and try to make sure. We all, at the end of the day, these guys are human beings.
Yes.
And they have families. So you want to make sure that they're able to go back. Give the fans what they want, but at the same time be available for their family.
Coach Harris, from position coach to head coach, completely skipped coordinator, skipped a few different steps. Do you understand how impressive this year has been for you? Do you feel the magnitude of your success and how great of a job you've been doing, or are you too focused in it to really see the big picture? Because that's a big deal. Position coach, you're focused on quarterbacks and that's this and that. And then head coach is a totally different beast. And you've been handling it like a veteran. So do you understand that you've been doing a great job? Are you proud of yourself? How do you assess your success so far this season?
Yeah, you try to separate those type of things. And, from playing quarterback myself, you kind of prep yourself for these moments, right? And being an offensive coordinator before in 2 different stops in college, you prepare yourself for that as well, and knowing that there's some coaches that coach in college, whether it be high school, college, or in the pros, they just want to be a position coach. Mm-hmm. For me, I always wanted to be a head coach. At some point, where I don't know, but God put me in position to where I am to have an opportunity to be back with Coach Barlow again. And, he's prepped me for that moment as well. And, here it is. And when the moment came, I was ready for it. I thought I was ready like some 8-10 years ago to be a head coach. But as I dug into it and as I did my internships in the NFL, I'm like, I'm not ready yet. Let me keep learning. Let me keep getting new ideas and things like that. And then as the years went along, I continued to prepare myself for this moment. And then when it happened, it was like, I'm already prepared for this. I've been working towards this. Yeah. And here it is. And then, everything just went from there. So, yeah, been laser focused in the moment. Yeah. And then everything else just flow off. And one thing I told the guys, the players, the coaches, and everybody else, like, this is us, we and ours. It's not just a me thing. This is us, we and ours. We're going to do this together, and let's finish it out together.
Yeah, you've been doing a phenomenal job. And I think once the season is over or at some point it's going to hit you. I think you understand it now, but I don't think you fully understand. You're such a humble, down-to-earth kind of guy. But I think it'll actually hit you that you're doing a phenomenal job. So congratulations already on your success.
Well, I appreciate it.
No problem. We appreciate you. Tomorrow, XFL Championship game, June 8th, Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, here in St. Louis, but also on Fox. What's something that you want your team to have in the forefront of their mind going into the game? I know one thing you talked about, penalties. Not having too many penalties. Don't beat yourself. So that's one thing. But what else are you trying to drill into their heads going to the game tomorrow?
Yeah, don't get caught up in the moment. As with the fans and everyone else that's there. And we've been here before. You know, we know what it's like to play in this building. We've won and had a lot of success in this building. And so that's the biggest thing, you know, eliminate the foolish penalties and then, you know that we're comfortable playing here. So if we can do that, and that's the message throughout the entire course of the week. The other message was, like, don't press, right? You know, oftentimes teams, players, coaches get caught up in the moment and start trying to change their entire routine when it comes to the playoff, right?
Yes.
No, we're going to keep our same routine that we've had, you know, from week one. And we've been in these moments before. We've been behind before. Don't get caught up in that part. We've been ahead before. Whatever it may be, don't change our approach. You know, we're going to keep the same approach. Don't press in the moment thinking that, you know, I got to do something totally different. No, just play within the scheme of what we do offensively, defensively, and special team, and everything else take care of itself.
That's I'm so happy to hear that, because we see it at almost every level of football. Be you, do what fits your scheme. And, you know, we defenders have probably the most impressive passing offense in the entire UFL. Battlehawks have a respectable rushing offense. So I think in that regard, we kind of know what to expect from a defensive standpoint when it comes to our opponent. But as long as we are staying true to us, I'm happy to hear that you're not going to try to get cute and try something different tomorrow that's not part of our identity.
No, you're right. I mean, you know, we know this team we're about to play, they kind of modeled their offense around us. You notice they, from year 1 in 23, you know, they had the traditional drop back quarterback in AJ, and now you see they have more athletic guys at the quarterback position, kind of like us. And you know, Beck is a tight end, so those guys love to run, block, and catch the ball. So they kind of done the same thing. They got better tight ends, and they got a running quarterback, and all those things. And you know, for us, we're gonna stay who we are. You know, from year 1 in 2023, we're gonna find a way to try to run the ball. And then we know we're going to let Jordan and our offensive line, you know, do their thing from there. And we got some skilled guys outside at the receiver position, tight end position, and our running backs at the backfield that catch the ball well. So we're going to do the things that we've done that get us to this point, right? So as long as we continue to do that, eliminate the penalties, don't let those things beat us, I think we'll be fine.
Okay, Coach. Final thoughts on tomorrow's game. What do you expect from tomorrow's game? What kind of game do you think it'll be? Like, what do you expect from tomorrow's XFL Championship game?
I expect one to be loud.
Yeah.
You know, their fans gonna come in here, and this is their first playoff game. So you know, I expect it to be loud. We've handled that situation before, but the biggest part of it is just our guys playing within the confines of the game. You know what I mean? Playing within ourselves, doing the things we've been coached up to do all year. Cross all our T's, dot all our I's, and then you know, the play don't care who makes it. And so we just got to do the things we got to do as far as staying within our scheme, and then go from there.
Okay, I'm excited. Let's bring a win back to DC so we can get to this championship game, either playing the Panthers or playing the Stallions. Either way, I think we have a real shot at winning the championship this year.
Yep, we'll be prepared for both. That's for sure.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you at the game tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks a lot.
you.